much. How are you? And welcome back to our channel. And again, today we are going to review movie. And today's movie is me, myself, and Renée that came in 2000. So today we are going to review this movie. We will talk about its fact. We will analyze this movie, and everything A to Z we all know about this movie in this video. So stay engaged. So let's start with its overview. Then me, myself, and Irene is a comedy film directed by the Farrelly brothers, released in 2000. It stars Jim Carrey in a dual role, along with Renée Zellweger and Anthony Anderson. The film is known for its slapstick humor, outrageous gags, and Carrey's signature over-the-top performance. It explores themes of mental health, identity, and love, all wrapped in a genie, often absurd comedy package. And if we talk about broad summary, the story centers on Charlie Billy Gates, Jim Carrey, a mild-mannered, overly polite Rhode Island state trooper who suffers from dissociative identity disorder did EID due to years of repressed anger and frustration. Charlie's alter ego Hank emerges, unleashing his aggressive, rebellious, and uncontrollable side. Charlie's life takes a turn when he encounters Kathy Jamison, Renée Zellweger, a naive and kind-hearted woman. Charlie, under his nice persona, tries to win Kathy's affection, but Hank's unpredictable and violent behavior complicates everything. The story escalates when Charlie, Hank, and Kathy become entangled with dangerous criminals, including the villainous Dole Anthony Anderson and his brother Bobby Stewart Wilson. The criminals are after a witness protection. Protection program, and Charlie Hank's duality become both a comedic and a chaotic obstacle in their pursuit. The film culminates in a series of wild action comedy sequences, culminating with Charlie embracing his multiple identities and choosing to accept both sides of himself, highlighting themes of self-acceptation, acceptance, and if we talk about key themes and elements, dissociative identity disorder (DID), the film portrays Charlie's split personality as a comedic device, but also touches on mental health issues with a humorous, albeit exaggerated approach. Love and acceptance. Charlie's journey involves accepting his identity, both the kind, gentle side and the angry, rebellious one, leading to heartfelt conclusion. If we talk about comedic and absurdity, the Fairley brothers are known for their cross out humor, slapstick gags, and shock comedy, which me, myself, and Aaron exemplifies. Now, if we talk about cast and performances, let's talk about Jim Carrey as Charlie, Bill Gates, Hank. Jim Carrey's performance in the film's centerpiece, his ability to switch between the sweet, awkward Charlie and the wild, aggressive Hank showcases his talent for physical comedy and character versatility. Carries expression, voice modulation, and comedic timing are on full display. And if we talk about Renée Zellweger as Catherine Cathy Jamison, Zellweger plays mm, the sweet, innocent love interest. Her character is the grounding force amidst the chow. Zellweger's comedic timing and chemistry with Carrey add warmth and humor to the film. If we talk about Anthony Anderson as Dolly is a humorous villain whose over-the-top antics and exaggerated villainy add to the film's absurd tone. And if we talk about Stuart Wilson as Bobby, the main antagonist, a ruthless criminal with a comedic flair, involved in a series of slapstick action sequences. And if we talk about critical reception and box office, then firstly we talk about box office. Me, myself, and Irene grossed over 202 million worldwide, making it a commercial success. And if we talk about critical response, the film received mixed reviews. Critics praised Carey's energetic performances and comedic timing, but criticized the film's reliance on gross out humor and lack of depth. It holds a 36% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, reflecting its divisive reception. And if we talk about interesting facts and trivia, Jim Carrey's dual role, Carrey performed both Charlie and Hank himself, showcasing his physical comedy skill and versatility. If we talk about filming location, the movie was primarily shot in Rhode Island with some scenes in California. And if we talk about humor style, the film is typical of the Farley brothers, featuring outrageous, often gross out humor, including scenes with bodily functions, slapstick, violence, and absurd setups. Now, if we talk about cameos, several cameo appearances, including from the Fairley brothers themselves. And if we talk about rating, the film is rated R for strong language, crude humor, sexual content, and violence. And if we talk about controversy, some critics and viewers criticized the portrayal of mental health issue, feeling it relied on stereotypes and insensitive humor. If we talk about notable scene, the Hank transformation, Jim Carrey's physical and vocal transformation into his aggressive after ego is a hateful highlight. The car chase, an over-the-top car chase sequence filled with slapstick humor. The bar fight, a chaotic, messy brawl with exaggerated injuries. The final confrontation, the climax featuring a mix of action, comedy, and a heartfelt moment about self-acceptance. Now, if we talk about cultural legacy and cultural impact, me, myself, and Irene remains a notable example of Jim Carrey's comedic range and the Fairley Brothers' signature style. While it may not be critically acclaimed for depth, it has gained a cult following for its outrageous humor and Carrey's memorable performance. It also sparked conversation about mental health portrayal in media, albeit with the comedic and exaggerated lens. The film's mix of a slapstick, cross-out humor, and heartfelt moments makes it a unique entry in early 2000s comedy. And if we talk about final verdict, me, myself, and Irene is wild, ferocious comedy that showcased Jim Carrey's comedic genius. It's best enjoyed as light-hearted, over-the-top romp with plenty of laughs, though it may not appeal to those sensitive to crude humor or stereotypes. Overall rating 6.5 out of 10. And if we talk about recommendations, uh, ideal for fans of Jim Carrey's energetic comedy, Fairley Brothers style, and slapstick humor. Not recommended for viewers seeking subtly or sensitivity portrayals of mental health. And now let's talk about more about it. It will take a little more time, guys, so you have to wait for it. And now, if we talk about me, myself, and Irene 2000, the ultimate in depth review, analysis, and fact compilation. Let's again start with its introduction and overview of the film. Me, myself, and Irene is a quintessential Jim Carrey comedy that exemplifies the genie over the top and often outrageous style characteristic of the Fairley brothers, known for their signature gross out humor, slapstick comedy, and boundary pushing content. The brothers crafted a film that combines elements of mental health, parody, romantic comedy, action, and pure absurdity. It released in 2000, the film became a commercial hit, grossing over 2,200 millions worldwide, but garnered mixed reviews from critics. It remains a polarizing film, loved by fans of Carrey's wild comedic antics, but criticized for its reliance on crude humor and stereotypical. What if we talk about background and development? The creative team, director Peter Fairley and Bobby Fairley, writer Peter Fairley, Bobby Fairley, and Stephen Corrin, main star Jim Carrey. And if we talk about supporting cast, Renée Zellweger, Anthony Anderson, Robert Wisdom, Richard Jenkins, among others. The Fairley brothers had already stabilized themselves with hits like Dumb and Dumber 1994, Kingpin 1996, and There's Something About Mary 1998. Their films were characterized by their gross out humor, slapstick sequence, and irreverent which they continued with me, myself, and Aaron. If we talk about inspiration and concept, the film is The film was conceived as a vehicle for Jim Carrey to showcase his physical comedy and versatility. The concept of math with dissociative identity disorder, previously known as multiple personality disorder, provided a fertile ground for comedic scenarios, allows Carrey to play two distinct characters with one film. The script was developed to blend slapstick, absurd humor, and heartwarming moments, though critics argue the heart often gets overshadowed by the gross outcast. If we talk about production details, filming locations mainly shot in Rhode Island with some scene in California. Filming dates, filming commenced in 1999 and wrapped in early 2000s. Budget estimated at around 75 million. Rating R. Foreign language, sexual content, violence, and crude humor. We talk about the plot in detail. Opening scene and setting the tone. The film opens with a humorous and chaotic montage introducing the main character, Charlie Bellagier's Jim Carrey, a well-meaning, overly polite, and passive Rhode Island state trooper. His life is depicted as dull but safe until a series of events begins to unravel his psyche. We talk about Charlie's personality and dissociative identity disorder. Charlie is portrayed as a kind, awkward, and overly accommodating man, often saying yes sir and avoiding confrontation. His life takes a turn when his repressed anger and frustration manifest as a second personality. If we talk about Hank is aggressive, loud, rebellious, and violent, a stark contrast to Charlie's meek demeanor. The film humorously depicts Charlie's eternal struggle with his dual identities, often through comic scenes where the two personalities clash or switch unexpectedly. The love interest Kathy Jamison enter Catherine Kathy Jamison, Renée, a sweet knave, a human who runs a small business and dreams of a simple, happy life. Charlie becomes smitten with her, and the film explores his attempt to win her over while Hong's unpredictable behavior complicates everything. The criminal plot and action sequences thing escalates when a group of dangerous criminals led by Doyle Anthony Anderson and Bobby Stewart Wilson seek to eliminate a key witness who is under the protection of the FBI. Charlie, Hank, and Kathy inadvertently become embroiled in this criminal villain scheme. The plot involves a series of wild chases, slapstick violence, and absurd confrontation highlighted by Carrey's physical comedy and over-the-top action scenes. The climax features a chaotic showdown with gunfire, explosion, and comedic misunderstandings. And if we talk about resolution and themes of self-acceptance, in the end, Charlie embraced both side of his personality, understanding that his anger and kindness coexist. He chooses love over repression. Accepting his dual nature, the film concludes a heartfelt note about self acceptance, love, and staying true to oneself. And now let's take a deep dive into key character and performances. Jim Carrey as Charlie validates Hank Carey dual role is the heart of the film. His ability to switch between the gentle, awkward Charlie and the wild, aggressive Hank is a showcase of his physicality and comic timing. Notable moments include transformation, Carrie's body language, facial expression, and voice modulation vividly disguise the two personalities. Physical comedy carries an exaggerated movement during fight scenes. Slapstick gags and comedy timing elevate the film's humor. If we talk about vulnerability, despite the outrageousness, Carrie imbues Charlie with vulnerability, making him relatable. If we talk about Renée as Kathy Jamison, Zellweger plays the most naive and love interest with earnestness. Her chemistry with Carrie adds warmth, balancing the film's crude humor. Her character is portrayed as genuine and caring, providing a moral anchor amid chaos. And if we talk about Anthony Anderson as Doll is a humorous villain whose exaggerated villainy and over-the-top antics provides comic relief. His interaction with Carrie adds to the film's absurd tone. And if we talk about supporting cast, Stuart Wilson, the ruthless yet comedy criminal antagonist, Uh, Richard Jenkins plays Charlie's boss and confident Robert Wisdom portrays other law enforcement characters. And if we talk about critical and audience reception, We talk about critical and audience response and commercial success. The film was a box office hit, grossing over 202 million worldwide, making it one of the most successful comedy critical response Rotten Tomatoes rating 36% ratings. Reviews praised Carrey's analytic performance but criticized the film's reliance on crude humor, over-the-top gags, and stereotyping portrayals. With our audience reception, shock, Jim Carrey and Renée brothers were generally understood. The film styles laugh out loud romance and Carrey comedy genius here, however, some viewers found the humor offensive or juvenile. If we talk about award and nomination, the film didn't garner major awards, but remains notable for its commercial impact and Carrey's performance. If we talk about the notable scene and highlights, Hank's explosive outburst film carries a physical happening during scene where Mark erupts into violence. The car chase and over-the-top sequence filled with slapstick chows, the war fight as the warfare and accelerated fancy fight scene with comically exaggerated injuries. The final showdown and absurd action sequence with guns, explosion, and slapstick comedy. The love scene, heartfelt moments, charming instructions, multiple identities. If we talk about mental health and dissociative identity disorder, collapse. The film touches on mental health issues, elevating and exaggerated form depression. It portrays the struggle of living with it as both a source of joy and a part of one's identity. It about self-acceptance and love. The core message is about embracing yourself. Thus works absurdity and reality. The film blurs the line between absurd humanity and real emotions, revealing First, we talk about cinematography. The film uses vibrant colors and exaggerated visual effect to emphasize its comment on the camera work. Often employs quick shows and reaction shows to maximize the comedic impact. If we talk about editing, this is fast with rapid fire cuts during action scenes and comedy gags, and visual gags carries physicality. It often accentuated with the levels with level camera. And if we talk about behind the scene, talk about behind the scene and trivia trim. Jim Carrey's preparation carries performing his own stunts and physical comedy. If we talk about behind the scene and trivia, Jim Carrey's preparation carried performance his own stunts and physical comedy, often improvising cameos. There are many cameos from the Fairlane brothers and other actors. If we talk about controversies, critics and viewers debated the film's portrayal of mental health and its crude humor. If we talk about box office instrument, remains one of the top grossing comedies of 2000. If we talk about legacy and cultural impact, me, myself, Irene has achieved characteristics fans of Jim Carrey and slapstick comedy. If we talk about finalization, me, myself, and Renée is invited unapologetic comedy that leverages Jim Carrey's comedic genius and the me, myself, and Renée is invited unapologetic comedy that leverages Jim Carrey's comedic genius and Fairlane Brothers signature style, while it may not be critically acclaimed and separate to fans of outrageous humor. If we talk about overall rating, 6.5/10. IVR rating 6.5 to 10. Ideal audience fans of slapstick, Jim Carrey and boundary action comedy not suited for viewers seeking subtlety or sensitive materials. Let's talk about more. If we talk about more, let's go about it. Okay, now if we talk about me, myself, and the 2000s, the definitive interview analysis and complex factor compilation introduction and me, myself, and Irene. Quintessential Jim Carrey's comedy film released in the year 2000, directed by Fairly Brothers, known for their signature style of cinema, growth outtakes and slapstick comedy. The Fairly Brothers crafted a film that combines absurdity, action, romance, and mental health parody, all wrapped in a chaotic over-the-top packages. Does the film become a commercial film becomes a commercial blockbuster, surpassing over 202 million worldwide, and remains a polarizing and base of conservative still itself, and that's both celebrated for its comedy movements and criticized for its cruel and stereotypical portrayals. If we talk about background and development, the creative minds talk about background and development, the creative minds that Peter Fairley and Bobby Fairley, writers Peter Fairley, Bobby Fairley, and Steve Cody, main star Jim Carrey. Supporting cast Renée, Anthony Anderson, Robert Easton, Richard Jenkins, among others. we talk about production highlights, film location mainly shot in scene in California, film duration began in 1980. In early 2000s was introduced into around 75 million. Rating rated R for language, sexual content, violence, and crude humor. If we talk about plot in extensive details, opening sequence and tone setting the film opens with the humorous montage introducing Charlie Williams Jerry, a well-meaning but overly polite role and state role in his life is depicted as monotonous and safe until a series of events begin to chip away at his calm exterior. If we talk about Charlie's personal and distributive identity disorder, Charlie is portrayed as a content shameless, polite, facial conflict averse, easily pressed, and frustration are hidden beneath his polite veneer until triggered by stress. His outright anger emerges. Hank is everything Charlie isn't: aggressive, rebellious, and violently impulsive. If we talk about Carrey's performance, vividly showcases physicality, facial expression, and voice modulation, creating two distinct characters within one body. Scenes where Charlie's personality switches often thoroughly and with comedic effects emphasizes his disassociative disorder. Meeting Kathy Jamison and Catherine. Kathy Jamison is a kind-hearted neighborhood who owns a small business and dreams of the narrative includes a series of chaotic action scenes, car chases, shootouts, and slapstick mischief that escalates into graffiti games. Physical progressions during these sequences with the exaggerated fight scenes that force comedy violence. Overtime and resolution. The film culminates with a chaotic showdown involving the villains, the police, and the Charlie's dual personality, is sides understand that his real identity are part of who he is. His storyline concludes within him acceptance of everything. And everything further and authenticity underlying themes. If we talk about underlying themes, self-acceptance, self-wisdom from reflection to embracing his multiple identities underscores the importance of self-acceptance, forgiveness, relationship, journey, and continuation. It demonstrates the transformational power of love. Chaos and control. Chaos and controls the fluence flows. How chaos can be managed through acceptance and humor. Talk about character deep same as Carrey and Charlie. Billiards and Carrey's dual role in also to devotes his history of physical communication, obsession, and improvisation which involve the characters. Notable moments include the Peter Waterhouse promotion scenes, Carrey's physical and pursuits between Charlie and Renée seamless and hilarious. If we talk about fight sequence and Carrey's individual moments, fights are highlights. Focusing his slapstick roles are emotional and despite the absurdity, it is painful to Charlie, especially in sequence where he is sincerity and chemistry with Carrey grounds the film, providing emotional laughter amidst Charles scenes portrayed as kind, naive, and genuinely caring. To Carrey's wild antics. If you talk about Anthony Anderson, editor by Leisure, humorous villain over the top, exaggerated, and cartoonish scenes are filled with slapstick, villain, and comedic dialogue. adding levity to the criminal subplot. If we talk about the supporting cast, Stuart Wilson, the ruthless, yet humorous young brother, Richard Jenkins, was and confident, providing moments of genuine support. If we talk about the technical aspects and things testing is thing that come in mind is the technical aspects and filmmaking. So let's talk about the cinematography in the film environment, the edited visual effect and visual effect and quick cuts to amplify comedy impact. The camera work often employs zooms and reaction shots to high-end humor. Talk about editing. Fast-paced editing aligns with the film's cinematic tone, especially during action and gag sequence. The pacing keeps viewers engaged, balancing slapstick with emotional beats. If we talk about soundtrack and music, the soundtrack features a mix of contemporary songs and classic tunes with humorous sound effects, enhancing slapstick moments and action scenes, special effects and stunts. Many scenes involve practical effects, stunt work, and visuals. Carrey's physicality is often highlighted with clever camera work and editing. If we talk about behind the scenes, insight and training. If we talk about Jim Carrey's method acting, Carrey's performance of his own stunts and physical comedy, improvising lines and action on set. The word cameo appearance, the film includes minor cameos, including the Farrelly brothers themselves. Now let's talk about controversies. The film portrayals of mental health and youth harmful stereotypes drew criticism from mental health advocates and critics. If we talk about cultural reference, the film contains reference to pop culture as parodies, style, cultural impact and legacy. Me, myself, and Irene becomes a defining example of early 2000s blossom solidifying achievement. Carrey's reputation as one of era's most analytic comedy performance and demonstrated the ability to push boundaries. The film also sparked a decision about mental health. The fiction media highlighting the importance of responsible portrayals even in comedy. Despite mixed critical review, it retains a dedicated fan base and a frequently cited. This is one of Carrey's most memorable roles. Let's talk about more. If we talk about me and me myself and Irene in 2000, the ultimate exhaustive analysis and counting fact, combination, introduction, funding, depth of me myself and stands as a hallmark of early 2000s slapstick comedy showcasing Jim Carrey's unparalleled physical comedy talents alongside the clearly present signatures, irreverent humor released in 2000s. The film became a box office juggernaut, grossing over 202 million worldwide, and has since maintained a cult following despite mixed critical reviews. This was a comedy film is a wide ride through chaos, absurdity, romance, and mental parody, wrapped in a chaotic package that pushes horizon challenges social acceptance that embodies that era's comedy sensibility sometimes could We talk about background and development, the team and their track record, director Peter Carrey and Bobby Renée, known for their provocative, boundary-pushing comedy. We talk about writers Peter Paley, Bobby Paley, and Steve Korean, crafted the screenplay to blend slapstick, satire, and emotional moments. If you talk about star Jim Carrey at the peak of his comedic powers, eager to stare in. If you talk about supporting cast, Renée, Anthony Anderson, Robert William Jenkins, among others, priors to me, myself, and the Fairley brothers had established themselves with Tom and Dumble King in 1996, and there is something about Married 1998. The films are characterized by the outrageous humor, plus of gags and penchant for pushing social boundaries. And now, if we talk about origins of the film, if we talk about the origin of the film was conceived as a vehicle for Jim Carrey to explore the role from that or to showcase his physical comedy and improvisational talent and storytelling was this so creative and decided perfect platform for Carrie's talent. one film. The script was developed within and emphasizes on gross out humor, slapstick sequence, and over-the-top action scene balanced by moments of genuine emotion and romance. We talk about development and pre-production. Casting Jim Carrey was cast early with teenager wrote on the romantic lead. Anthony Anderson was cast as the landlord. We talk about film location. Mainly shot in Rhode Island with some scenes in California. Filming timeline began in 1999 and wrapping in early 2000s. Budget estimated approximately $75 million, making it a significant investment for comedy film. Rating rated R for sexual content, violence, and crude humor. We talk about in-depth plot summary, opening scene, and introduction. The film opens with the comedy montage introduction. Charlie Will gives Jim Carrey managed Rhode Island state trooper. His life appears modern but safe until a series of chaotic events begins to unravel. His psyche. Talk about Charlie's character and dislocated identities. Charlie is depicted as a potential nicely passive conflict avoidant. His repressed anger and frustration are hidden beneath his absolutely the narrative introduces his mental health condition, his identity disorder at the center of plot device. Whenever Charlie is under stress or broken, his the ego is loud, aggressive, rebellious, and other often violent. Jim Carrey portrays of both Personality is a tool that force highlighting his physicality, voice modulation, and improvisational moves that love interest Kathy Emerson. Enter Kathy Emerson is a sweet, navy woman who owns a small business. Her innocence and kindness serve as a stark contrast to the chaos surrounding Sally. Sally develops feelings for her, but Hank's unpredictable behavior blurs matters. It was a criminal transaction symbol. The plot thickens when Renee's coming played by Anthony Anderson is after a key witness and FBI protect from Charlie and Kathy inadvertently become employed in this criminal conspiracy. The film's action scenes are exaggerated and the slapstick heavy car chases, shootouts, and hard scenes that escalates into chores and absurdity. James Carrey's physical comedy is on full display during these moments with exaggerated movements, great falls, and humorous violence. If we talk about climax and exaggeration, the climax features a shouting showdown involving the villain's law enforcement and starring dual personalities ultimately starring embrace both in fun and angry sides, learning to accept himself fully. The film concludes with a message about self-love, acceptance, and honesty. Let's talk about themes explore self-acceptance, origin from the present to embrace his multiple identities and discover the importance of accepting oneself. It love and forgiveness. The relationship between Charlie and she was changed that transformed of love. Charles and Control, the film explores how Charles can be through humor and self-awareness even when life feels unpredictable. Character narration performance Jim Carrey as Charlie validates Hank Carrey's dual performances. Arguably the film's centerpiece is demonstrated of physical comedy, facial expression, and improvisation which life into both characters. Key moments include the transformation sequence, Carrie's whole body language and voice shifts are seamless, often accompanied by exaggerated facial expression. Fight scene Carrie's physical routines during slapstick roles with exaggerated injuries and dreadful laughs. If we talk about emotional depth, despite the humor, Carrie lacks vulnerability in Charlie, especially during moments of internal struggle and self-acceptance. We talk about Renée as Kathy Jamison. Challenger's portrayal offers warmth and sincerity, balancing Carrie's sound with emotional grounding. Her chemistry with Carrey makes their romantic scenes believable, and her character's innocence provides a moral compass amidst the sound. If we talk about Anthony Riley is a comic villain, over the top, exaggerated, and cartoonish. Scenes are filled with slapstick villainy, humorous dialogue, and exaggerated expression, bring levity to a criminal subplot. If we talk about supporting cast, highlights, Cecil Chang plays Charlie's host, providing moments of genuine support. Robert Wisdom portrays law enforcement character involved in slapstick sequences. We talk about cameos. The film features minor cameos from the Fairley brothers and other actors, adding to its comedic charm. If we talk about critical and audience reception, box office and commercial, the film has a major commercial success, crossing out 202 million worldwide, stabilizing itself as one of the highest grossing comedies of 2000s. If we talk about critical response, Rotten Tomatoes 36% approval rating, mixed reviews. Metacritic score of 45 out of 100 based on average reviews. Critics praised Carrey's energetic performance and comedy timing, criticized the reliance on crude humor, stereotypes, and inconsistent tone. Talk about audience reception. Fans of Carrey's unique style appreciated the film's humor, physical comedy, and outrageous sequence. Its box office success indicates widespread popularity despite critical ambivalence. Talk about award and nomination. The film didn't garner major awards but remains noteworthy for its commercial impact and Jim Carrey's performance. If we talk about awards and nominations, the film didn't garner major awards and remains noteworthy for its commercial impact and unique performance. If we talk about nominations and highlights, and six early awards comedy during scenes where the car chase and over-the-top sequence involving restaurants, and exaggerated cases, the bar fights sounded messy and hilarious with exaggerated teaching and stage violence. The final showdown adds an action sequence with the guns explosion and comedy misunderstanding. It over the love scene with tenderness where Charlie begins to accept his multiple identities without more thematic analysis and deep insight. First thing is mental health and disability identities are well played allows the film touches on mental health themes albeit through exaggerated and stereotypes. characters are rated as comedic device, but also symbolizes internal conflict, depression, and the desire for authenticity. If we talk about self-acceptance, then personal salvation is about accepting our past, often self-realization that embrace what is fine and every side leads to happiness in the centeredness that is resilient beyond comedy. If we talk about humor as coping mechanism, the film demonstrates how humor can serve as a coping mechanism using laughter to confront self-care and social acceptance. We talk about absurdity as a reflection of reality. The exaggerated scenario mirrors real life chaos and unpredictability, suggesting that humor helps us navigate life's absurdities. Talk about technical aspect and filmmaking techniques. Firstly, talk about cinematographer. Bright, vibrant visuals with exaggerated angles and quick cuts emphasizes comedic chow, reaction shots, and zoom in high and the humor during slapstick moment. If we talk about editing, fast-paced editing aligns with the film's frantic tone, especially during action scenes and gag sequence. Timing is critically maximized comedy impact. If we talk about sound design and music, mix of contemporary and classic tracks underscore scenes while in videos and acquaintance, physical gags and slapstick humor. Special effect and stunt work, practical effect, stunt work, and visual gags are used extensively, emphasizes Carrey's physical training and the film exaggerated style. We talk about behind the scene trial and uploads. Jim Carrey's improvisation, Carrey performed many stunts himself and improvised arms contributing to the film's spontaneous energy. We talk about cameras and Easter eggs. The film includes minor cameos, including the Fairley brothers and other actors, adding layers for fans to discover. If we talk about controversies, critics and mental health advocates debated the film's mental health administrative friends. The film personalities and events leading to its comic awareness. If we talk about final assessment, me, myself, and Irene is a wild, unapologetic comedy that leverages Jim Carrey's comedy genre and Fairley Brothers' signature style magnet made really depth. Its humor, physicality, and outrageous sequence have cemented it as a memorable piece of early 2000s comedy. We talk about our rating 6.5 out of 10, an ideal audience and some slapstick. Jim Carrey and found pushing humor not suited for viewers seeing storytelling sensitive portrayals. We talk about more. If we talk about me, myself, and Renée, the ultimate extensive review, in-depth analysis, and complete fact encyclopedia. Let's start with the introduction. An epic overview. Me, myself, and Irene is a landmark comedy film that encapsulates the chaotic, boundary-pushing style of late 90s and untruthfulness. Draws out humor featuring Jim Carrey's energetic performance, the Fairley brothers himself, irreverence and story that matters. Slapstick with psychological error. Released in 2000s, it quickly became a commercial hit, grossing over 22 million worldwide and remains a significant film most reputed for its hilarious moments and criticized for its reliance on stereotypes and crude humor. This film is Paul's chaotic odyssey that explores themes of mental health, self-acceptance, love, and chaos are wrapped in an over-the-top package that pushes comedic forward. It's a film that invites both laughter and music, often simultaneously. To talk about the background and development of the rebellious struggle called and creative vision. Actor Peter Fairley and Bobby Fairley, known for their provocative, breaking comedies. Previous film Dumb and Dumber 1994, Kingpin 1996, There is Something About Mary 1998. These films established their reputation for unrestrained, thrust out humor, outrageous character, and a penchant for pushing social norms. Talk about one for their dress out slapstick heavy approach, often blending physical, often satire, and parody. If we talk about concept and inspiration, the core idea was to explore child's character associative identity disorder (DID). Using this mental health condition as a comedic device, the film was asked to create a film where Jim Carrey would embody a dual personality, one kind depressed and polite, the other violent, rebellious, and impulsive. The screenplay was helped developed with the goal of balancing outrageous humor with heartfelt moment. Although critics have noted that the humor sometimes overshadowed the concept developed in the late 1990s, inspired by the popularity of Carrey's energetic performance and success of their previous films. If we talk about casting, Jim Carrey was attached early on, eager to take on challenging dual role. Then was cast as romantic lead. We talk about filming began in 1990 primarily in Rhode Island of in early 2000s. If we talk about budget estimated at approximately 75 million, making it a stretchable investment for a comedy. So this was the review of this movie. I hope you like it, you enjoyed it, and if there was any mistake in this video, then I apologize for that. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you in next video.